Well, the men's race has just started, folks. The scratch runners have just taken off with a perfect start. They're about the only group that started right on the go. Adam Jody has shot to a 10-metre lead straight away, and this race is alive. We've had runners start at every minute from 8 to 0. Jody now is up by 20 metres already. He has burnt out of the blocks. This race is on.
Do you just want to keep it running, Dale?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Dale, still running?
Yep.
It's just exciting. It feels you can feel the excitement. We're just hopping into the car of Jerry Clarke, very kindly giving us a lift. Left.
Well, what did you make of the start there, Matt? Runners taking off every minute. It was pretty chaotic. We had Jess Lang leading the girls off. She's now 17 minutes into her race. And the men's scratch runners are 8 minutes in. So the overtaking has probably already started. Adric Backmeyer might be working his way through those in front of him. What did you make of the start?
I thought the start was fantastic. The highlight for me was seeing how much the girls' race has grown. I think there was 9 girls starting off scratch, so it was just good to see the continued growth of the girls' race, and then of course all the new runners in the men's going off scratch, along with the great man Adam Jady was a sight to see as well. Jady heading straight to a 15-20 metre lead within 100 metres of the start.
It really was remarkable. He attacks this race like no one else in the field, and last year he blew the scratch markers away and couldn't be caught, and I think he's going to do the same today. They've seen the last of him. He's got that 20 metre lead. They won't see him again until we're eating breakfast at McDonald's.
Yeah, he's definitely got the... doesn't have a whole heap of competition there today off the scratch runners. I think his mindset is going to be to catch the likes of Brett and Patrick as soon as possible, even if that means he goes into the red zone a little bit to catch them. I think he'd back himself to recover, and then would back himself in a sprint or near sprint finish.
We're going to be heading down to Seacliff in a few moments, and I've got a feeling he'll have Brett and Patrick by then, and like you said, he will have entered into a bit of a pain zone, but I think he's going to be willing to join them, settle down for a bit once he's with them, and push away towards the end.
Certainly going to be interesting. We're just about to turn left here onto Cowrie Parade. It's just exciting. It's obviously disappointing for both of us to miss the race this year, but it also, you know, this time of proceedings is exciting. We're driving, we don't really know what's happening. We saw JD go for broke, and you know, when we turn onto Seacliff, what's going to be happening? There's going to be all sorts of chaos. What's your tip?
I love being in the race vehicles as much as I'd love to be running. I'm tipping JD, but really, this is easily the most unpredictable HBH in history.
Another exciting part of what's going on at the moment is just, you know, to just privilege how Jerry Clarke's driving has really come along in recent years. Just seems to attack the speed humps a little bit more than he used to. Really tentative, but he's come along well. I think possibly since he's hurt his back, he's been a little bit more reckless and just aggressive driving, and it's just paying off.
Yeah, one thing that you won't see change in Jerry Clarke's driving style is the 10 and 2. He'll have his hands on that steering wheel, rain, hail or shine, since the 1970s.
Well, I think Popsy was actually 37 years old when he got his licence, so it wasn't in the 70s. It was early 90s, I think, where he first took to the roads.
Yeah, now interesting talking point this morning, and as this race starts to unfold, is the appearance of Lachlan Flaherty.
There was people running just there.
Was there?
I just looked down Maitland, and there was a group of, it looked like 4 or 5 runners who were heading towards the beach on Maitland.
On the road?
On the road. So I'm not exactly sure.
Heading parallel to the beach or perpendicular?
Heading straight towards the beach.
Oh dear. Were they HBH runners?
That's what I'm not sure. I just had a quick glimpse. So
they could have been.
I'm not sure. I'm backing it not to be any of the people who've run it before.
Let's just do a quick check there. Is this still recording, Matthew?
recording. Been recording for 5 minutes. So
We're about to head down to Seacliff. We'll continue talking about Lachlan Flaherty in a moment. In short, he came out of nowhere into HBH talks this week. He ran a 21-minute 6K at the City Bay and came 6th in that category. So he might just surprise everyone.
Wow, I did not know that.
Now, drive, just settle
nice and slow here, Popsy.
And we'll go up here and...
So we're just turning left onto the Esplanade, and here's the great man Adam Jady heading toward us. I cannot see any other runners. He has put.
Just hit the roundabout.
No, there's a couple of runners up ahead.
And the others are coming out of the car park. We're not exaggerating.
They are coming out of the car park.
No, they're about 30 metres out of the car park.
So I'm not sure if
Forward button on this stupid thing.
Flaherty is any of these guys here. Dale?
Lachlan Flaherty in second place.
In second spot. So he's a good runner, but Jady has just put an amazing hurt bag as we go through the runners. Luke Frost, there's a new runner there. We're just driving past them nice and slowly. Crazy Dave Uhar, Keith Kane, I believe his name is, and no, the people I saw running on Maitland was not HBH people. It was a big bunch of footballers doing pre-season, so it wasn't HBH history made there. So you across these names here.
I'm not going to know some of these names. It's just going to get
Synchronise. You can hear the pounding of the feet on the pavement as we go past.
Seems to be having some problems with his audio at the moment, just readjusting. He's looking comfortable.
Here's a
So the people we're looking at now are off scratch.
scratch. There's
Keith.
Keith. Yes, it's Keith. Keith Kane. Oh, he's fresh. Plenty of voice. He's still going well. And we've got Crazy Dave Uhar, number 46.
Last, but he's actually looking okay at the moment. These guys that we're looking at the moment are running their first HBH, and they don't come into this looking for the win.
It was almost a crash on
They're
the.
not handicapped in the race. So next year is where they start to be a real chance.
It was almost a crash on the Esplanade at Seacliff just then. There's a couple of confused public runners who seem to be running the course backwards. It's not going to end well for them.
We're coming up now behind Sam Colvin from the United States.
Number 43, Sam Colvin. Number 45, Luke Frost. Luke Frost is leading by about a metre or two. They're both looking relatively fresh. We're coming up onto about 50 metres in front of them is a runner in a red singlet. Trott, I believe his last name is.
Robert Trott.
Robert Trott.
Yep. Running style.
Number
He's
49.
going along fine. Trotting along, you could say.
He's trotting along. Dale Clarke said amazing. And then we're into the more serious runners up here. This is the top. This is second to fourth from the scratch runners. A couple of the newcomers there, 53 and look like possibly 51 and 52 even. So possibly
Lachlan Flaherty.
Lachlan Flaherty. And then as we pass Lachlan Flaherty, I'm looking 200 metres ahead. I cannot see Adam Jady, so I'm looking 300 metres ahead. There's still no sign of Adam Jady, as Jerry very wisely just picks up the pace.
Jady has just absolutely ripped out of the blocks. We can't even... He's up here. This is ridiculous. He has a 500 metre lead on Lachlan Flaherty, who, let's not forget, ran the City to Bay 6K in 21 minutes. We can't see Brett and Patrick though. He must be making time up on them. Slow down, Pops.
So Adam Jady, we can see, is now about 50 metres behind us, and as we around the corner, there is a flurry of runners. I can see Patrick Clarke, so the gap, Patrick's about 20 to 30 metres in front of Brett Clarke, and then it's a further, it would be 200 to 300 metres, no, it'd be 200 metres between Brett Clarke and Jady. Patrick's certainly looking the stronger of the Clarke brothers at the moment, but
Slow down, Pops.
yeah, really slow, Popsy. You pull over if you want. So we're right next to Brett Clarke now. He is still looking strong. I don't think there's any reason to panic at the moment. From what I've gathered, he seems to be probably in career, nice and slow, Popsy. Career best form, certainly basketball-wise, he's going really well, but also running-wise, I think he looks lean and light. Right next to him now, he's got a backwards cap. He's looking pretty fresh, I think, for this stage of the race. Looks reasonable. And as we nice and slower pops in. So Sam Chapman, number 41. Patrick Clarke's just gone.
He's looking comfortable, Sam. He's looking like he's going to get the 7.6 pretty easily.
We're in the heart of HBH action here. We're driving dead next to Patrick. And as I look back behind Patrick, there's Sam about 20 metres back. Brett Clarke is probably 25 metres behind Paddy. And
a long way back to JD.
Yeah, it's a long way back to JD. He certainly hasn't put any more gap into them. Coming past Nick Hurley, the defending champ there. James Skeen, number 27. One of the Anesi brothers, I'm not sure which one.
At one stage today, that was Josh. At one stage today, Patrick was favourite. James, at one stage earlier on in this campaign, James Skeen was favourite to win this event, but Patrick's about to go past him, so that'll count young James Skeen out.
Yeah, his race is over. Hopefully he just keeps on pushing.
James or Michael back there?
Skeen, no, 27, yeah. The guy that won it.
Oh, it was Michael.
27?
Michael,
okay. Sorry,
apologies.
Big mistake there from the Clarke brothers.
James Skeen's still in the money.
James Skeen's still ahead. As we go past Josh Rouse, in front of 20 metres in front of Josh Rouse. Here's an interesting Dan Ryan and Big Sticks Collins running side by side. They took off together on a 2-minute handicap. Both looking relatively fresh. As I look back past Dan and Sticks, it would be only 150 metres to Patrick Clarke. So I think Patrick will probably swallow those guys up. And as we look ahead, there is just a flurry of runners. We've just gone past number 35.
Craig Johnson, who started on his own at 6 minutes, I believe.
And now here we are going past Dom Smith, number 37, looking relatively fresh. Mrs. Hoskin there, Louise, an inspiration to take to the track today. The first person from that next generation to tackle the course. There's the defending champion, James.
It's not the defending champion.
It's not the defending champion.
And he puts in a little sprint for the camera.
And coming up here to, I get confused, Nick Hurley, looking relatively good. Yeah, no, he's running quite well. Here's some of the older folk here. Ben Ryan, number 40, would be, how much is he on in front of the JD? Ben Ryan would still be 500 to 700 metres in front of Adam JD, and we are coming up now to Wattle Reserve. Here's the younger of the Hoskin brothers, Christian. Here is my lovely wife, Shelley Clarke, who looks like she's been put in the hurt bag by a number of the women's runners. So that's interesting. We're about to turn off the Esplanade here. There my lovely wife is. John Schubert doing well. And then as we go off, we can see Stremple. He's not going to be able to hold them off today. Despite all the talk, Stremple. So now we're off the Esplanade. Dale, who's your tip, and how do you see it panning out from here?
Well, that really is magical, driving along there and getting a taste for who's where, how much overtaking. A lot of those are already being gobbled up by Patrick and Brett, who are further ahead than we expected. Further ahead of
King George.
JD than we expected, so it probably reflects more on the rest of the scratch runners that weren't quite up to the pace of JD, because Brett and Patrick still have a good lead on him. The interesting point is we haven't seen Adric Backmeyer yet, which means he's still comfortably in front of the likes of JD, Brett and Patrick Clarke. I'd tip him from here, but it depends how far ahead he is. We're going to catch him on the other side of the sand, which will really start to shape up how this race is going to pan out.
The women's race, Dale. Obviously, from the women's race, we've seen Louise Hoskin. We've just seen Shelley Clarke before we turned off the Esplanade. So who does that leave? There's some runners out there doing really well.
Well, I'm wondering, so the likes of Leah Ashman and Shah, we haven't seen them. Were they further ahead?
There's some chance we may have missed them. Yeah, I'm not really sure. It was hard to see. There was just the HBH magic there for a while, where there was runners everywhere. We were looking back trying to see the gaps from JD to Brett. So there's some chance we've missed a few runners. What do you think's happening up ahead?
Well, I'm certain we didn't see Claire Ashman. She, I assume, is out in front. It was a surprise. We know Shelley hasn't had the same lead into this year's race as previous years, but what a high standard event if the two-time champ has been left behind by even one runner. But it looks like there's a few others that are going to contend this race.
Yeah, the standard of the women's race this year is outstanding.
Down here, I reckon, can we?
Yeah, we can go down here. So we're just turning now into Repton Road, home of the Somerton Surf Life Saving Club. Some more speed bumps with Popsy. Oh, just unbelievable! Just straight over, a little bit of air. He's going 75 kilometres and braking at the last minute. So some of Jerry Clarke's driving today has been fantastic. He's probably taking more of an Adam JD approach when we need him to take a Nathan Strempel type approach, someone that's running off 6 metres and really just slow it down a little bit. Yeah, certainly once we hit the Esplanade, he needs to listen to our advice. He never listened to coaches much during his basketball career, and today, despite numerous instructions to slow down, he just the old lead foot, can't help himself.
Now, up here, we're about to rejoin the Esplanade, and we might just park and go and have... Oh, no, here's Adric.
Here we go.
Here is the man that's probably in the race lead. He's just come off the stand.
Here he is.
Park clocks.
You don't want to miss the end though. How far is it?
You reckon just get some quick stuff here and go?
Yeah, just quickly, yeah. How far is it from here to the end? So there goes Adric Backmeyer running past me right now, number 4. There doesn't look like I can't see anyone up ahead. 2.5 kilometres to go, so that gives us
3 kilometres.
3 kilometres. That probably gives us at Adric's pace, give us at least 12-13 minutes.